Hello everybody, how are you? Good morning. This is ZESTA Herbal Soap Skincare and Lifestyle. And yes, I'm using TikTok to make this video, so it has a filter. Oh, this is not my real face. So before I go into the video of the day, I want to talk about well, let me not talk about that one. Welcome, good morning. How are you everybody? I want to talk about soap rebatch. How to make soap rebatch without seeds. Okay, I was asked this question and I've seen several people ask it. Rebatching soap is still a problem for a lot of us. You see this soap I'm making, I'm stamping, it's a rebatched soap, but you won't even know. It is strong. It doesn't even have one seed inside. It is a rebatched soap. So I was asked how to make soap, rebatched soap without seed inside. One thing I would like you to know is if you want to rebatch your soap successfully, first things first, immediately you make your soap and you get your off cuts. Let me show you some off cuts here. Are you seeing all these soaps here? Look beyond there, you can see those are off cuts. Okay, all this soap here that I'm stamping is a herbal soap with a turmeric and orange peel in it. Okay, so now you see the way I've I've cut those pieces into smaller pieces. I'm still going to grate them into smaller pieces. Let's say peradventure I want to rebatch it, I'll still cut it into smaller pieces. The best thing to use is to use a carrot grater. You grate these soap pieces into tiny pieces and then tie them up in the polythene bag, like this type of polythene bag. Tie it up and keep it. If the soap is a little bit hard before you grated it, after grating it into those smaller pieces, you sprinkle water on it, mix it up a little bit, then cover it and keep until when you need it. This one, why I left it big like this is because I might make another soap today and I'll use it. So I don't need to pieces it. But if you know you're not going to make that soap immediately, pieces it into tiny pieces, sprinkle water on it. Not that it should be wet, but it should be moist, such that if you carry the soap piece, let me carry one now. This is one of the soap pieces. When you carry the soap piece, it should be soft like this. Then when you're ready to rebatch it, you just put it on fire. Do your rebatching the way you do it. Everybody has his own way of doing his soap rebatch. Do your rebatching the way you do it, but use low heat. Once soap is soft like that, it easily melts. At times, even when the soap is very hot, you can just off the fire and then leave it. After some time, when you come back, you see that the soap has started softening on its own. You understand? So me, I used to be surprised when people say that cook soap for 3 hours. Cook soap that you cook for 3 hours, even new soap, you should know the amount of soap. Soap that you cook for 1 hour, even new soap, you should know the amount. Talk less of rebatch. You know, we have to consider a lot of things. So it's not easy. Fuel now, gas, 12.5 kg is about 12,700 naira. That's about 1,000 something per kg of gas. When you go to kerosene, that one you know go talk. Firewood myself, you know easy. So nothing is cheap again. So even when you want to do your rebatch, you do your rebatch with wisdom so that all your money will not go in cooking soap. So the first thing, you pieces it. When you pieces it into tiny pieces, you cannot put it on fire. Whatever method you're using to rebatch, you use it, but use a low flame so that it melts gradually. If you use high flame, it will melt fast, but it will burn. Except if you put much water inside that soap, and I can guarantee you, if you put much water inside that soap will shrink. Even the rebatch will not look neat. You understand? The rebatch will not look neat. See this soap now. If I tell somebody this soap is rebatch, should they believe? No. It's even strong. See, even from the cut, you know that this is not a soft soap. It's not even managing to my hand. Let me put it that way. It's not sticking to my hand. Do you understand? So you would, and after you've done that, if worse comes to worse, you know, for example, there are some things you can add to soap that will refuse to melt well. Let's say in the rebatch of soap you made, you mix different batches of soap and one is very hard. Sorry, it's very windy today. And one is very hard. The ones that are softer will melt and leave the harder one. Is it not so? Let's say after all has been said and done, you've done your best and still there are some lumps inside the soap. You use a sieve. I have a soap sieve here. Let me show you. See my soap sieve. You use a sieve to sieve the soap and remove the lumps out. When you remove the lumps out, you can keep them again. Maybe you can put them in a rubber, in a plastic. I don't have something here. You put them in a plastic bucket cover so that they stay moist. When you're doing your next rebatch, you pour them inside. They will melt faster because they've gotten some heat. They've gotten softer a little bit. That's the number 2. Number 3 thing you can do is always use a whisk. If you look at me, you hardly see me using stick to make soap. If you see me using stick to make soap, that's when the soap has become a little bit fluid. I'm using the stick so that I'll be able to mix till down. But use a whisk. Once you use that whisk and you just whisk it up a little bit, whisk the soap up a little bit. In house I will call you kada it as if you're kadaing kalkashi. You understand? You look. I don't know how to say it in English, but you mix it up a bit. That whisk, my whisk is in the other place I make soap. But if for those of you that have been watching my videos, you'd have seen me using a whisk. You whisk the soap up. When you whisk the soap up, that will break it into smaller chunks faster than using a stick or even a paddle. They are not that suitable for making soap like the whisk. Okay, so these are some of the things you can do. Number 1, grate your soap into tiny pieces. Number 2, make sure your soap stays moist before you rebatch. If the soap is a bit hard, it's too hard before you rebatch, you can sprinkle with water, tie it up and leave it for another day or 2 to get soft before you rebatch. Okay. Number 3, you can use a carrot grater. Number 4, you can whisk. Okay. Sorry, number 2, you use low heat. Okay. Thank you very much for watching my video. My phone is about to die. Bye.